exclusive. Please remember to hit the notification bell, like, share, and subscribe.
I don't bring nobody forward in here to cheer for me. Everything what you see up my natural talent. Let me tell you something. You see, when you know what to please the audience with, it's simple, me.
My people, hope everybody doing okay, hope everybody doing alright. So I want somebody tell me if this makes sense. This is what I can't understand. The same female just get beat up, you know, as she same wanna pick up for this boy. Yeah. Soji should have put her more cross in face, me, I telling you the truth. Female, tell me which bracket on the falling, the one who can do something about the situation or the one who doesn't want to do anything about the situation. That no one for no. You understand? Because me see the politician come out and she say a bag of things, but yet still she's being harassed, or she was being harassed. Stand corrected, and she still never come out and press the charge against her harasser. Why? But you want to tell the average person when they on the road and walk up and down, day in, day out, say them supposed to do it? No, man. People, I'm going to make you listen what she have to say, and then I'm going to make the people them who get abused know, say, yo, them have a center, them can go and check in themselves. So don't worry in the set, just listen out.
Jamaica Labour Party Women's Caucus firmly and absolutely condemns domestic violence in all its forms and regardless of its perpetrators.
As a group, we are collectively and individually distressed when a woman in any circumstance suffers abuse. This must not be tolerated, and we urge all persons to speak out whenever this occurs. We are determined to root out the scourge from our country and support every legal action to eliminate these horrible acts.
Like all women, we have been horrified by a viral video that shows a man beating a woman. These actions must not be condoned in any way, shape, or form. We also express heartfelt support for the female victim in the video. As sisters, we stand in solidarity with her as she deals with not only the pain of the event, but also having it play out in the public domain. We want to recommend that she gets whatever support and counseling she may need in this difficult period.
We acknowledge and commend the public outcry. The more the public stands up against these forms of behavior, the greater the chance of reducing and eliminating gender-based violence. We take note that in light of the unresolved allegations regarding George Wright, it was agreed that he must take a leave of absence from both the Parliament and from the party.
As a caucus, we will not only continue to wholeheartedly condemn violence in all its forms, including domestic violence and family violence, but also focus on the work needed to address the issue, its root causes and consequences. We must not lose the opportunity of increased public attention on the issue, to educate, sensitize, and to build even greater urgency for social change.
I think about the fact that there was a member, a colleague of yours on that side, who had started to send me harassing emails and who I had to report to the police. And I was even advised to stop running for a period of time. It was clear I was in fear and they recognized it as justifiable. And I decided not to press a charge. I decided not to go public with it either. And it was a struggle because I said this could be helpful for women to see someone taking an action when they feel vulnerable. And I'm saying, if I feel vulnerable, imagine someone who doesn't have the type of support around me that I do. And then I thought about the politics and the drama, and I didn't. So for whatever other reasons, I didn't. And I don't consider myself a disempowered woman. So the choices that women make in different circumstances, I don't judge. I just recognize that we need more systems in place to support women who need it.
There is one national shelter, the very first national shelter is open. And there's another space that we have through a public-private partnership agreement with the Woman Inc. just to be able to have persons who are victims of gender-based violence whisked out of harm's way and be safely tucked away in a space that allows them to have counseling and psychosocial support and other forms of support that will allow them to be able to bounce back. So there are 2 spaces that are available. So the capacity of the first national shelter is that we have about 8 rooms that allow families. So we can have families within the room, each room, meaning if a female is in harm's way and needs to flee, she can take a small family with her. For the other shelter, which is under that public partnership agreement, private-public agreement, there are, I think, 7. At this point, I believe it can pick up to 7 persons at one point, not families, persons.
And what we are aiming to do is to raise the issues, raise the gaps, but also raise solutions or put forward solutions, and then identify the different agencies that have responsibility for moving those issues forward, putting the solutions into practice, changing the status quo so that we have a greater survival rate for women in Jamaica. Well, the first set of change that we're really lobbying for is around reform of legislation intended to prevent gender-based violence, namely the Sexual Offences Act, the Offences Against the Person Act, the Domestic Violence Act, the Child Care and Protection Act, as well as Sexual Harassment Bill. We're also lobbying for the impeachment bill, which has come out as a cause for concern, and this is now going to be brought up, in a larger frame and conversation of democracy and really what it means. The next step is seeking audience with the government. The next step is engaging even our female parliamentarians to say, listen, we need to revisit exactly what it is that you do on behalf of women in Jamaica and the voice that we expect them to articulate. Of course, they have minds of their own. They know their jobs, but at this point in time, they've been a little bit silent. And to have that conversation with them.
I rise to raise a matter of national importance, the matter of gender-based violence. Mr. President, in this regard, we take note of a statement made in that other place by the Speaker on behalf of women parliamentarians. Having been advised that the senators across the aisle do not wish to adopt the statement, we on this side nonetheless wish to endorse the statement, and I therefore wish to read it into Hansard, given its intention of inclusion.
What the public would have heard is that we on this side take a different view, and I do. I take the different view that that statement did not go far enough. And I will explain to you why, Mr. President. The reason why we are here having this discussion now, the reason why a joint statement was issued by parliamentarians, the issue why we have been talking about violence against women over the past 2 weeks is because of a video which was circulated. That is a clear fact. That's all right. There has been great care and pain, every effort made to avoid a mention of a video. All the words which are written here, I agree with. And words are important, and these words are important. But the words without the action make them just that. Empty. The page could have been blank because there is nothing about this statement that distinguishes it from all the other statements we have made here. It was to take leave of absence as a member of the Jamaica Labour Party, and then it was to take leave of absence from the Parliament. What was all that about? if there is no connection between an act of domestic violence? What was all that about, this unprecedented action, if there was no connection between that and the action which was being taken? I have not heard one woman from over there who condemns violence on every occasion and who will come again in November to condemn violence. I did not hear them dare to raise their voice in protest.